It's the grandson of Ray Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock. Today, little flock, I want you to consider a certain man. Though we've never met this man, we all know this man. Interesting, huh? We all know about him. When his name is brought up, we all have a feeling associated with this man. Our ideals of this man are usually negative. We have a negative mindset concerning this certain man. But today I want you just to consider a number of things. This man that I'm speaking about, his name is Judas. To make it even more clear who I'm speaking about, his name is Judas Iscariot. So now y'all all know who I'm talking about, right? Yeah, that's right. The betrayer. Judas Iscariot and betrayal are almost synonymous in our minds. And what do we think about a person who betrays or a betrayer? What are our feelings or our mindset concerning a betrayer? Are we happy about having a betrayer in our life? Are we relieved? Normally not, right? We got some negative feelings associated with a betrayer in our life. If somebody was to betray you, I'm sure you would feel negative feelings toward this person. Now, what makes betrayal so hurtful, little flock? What is the thing in particular about betrayal that makes it so hurtful and so stinging when it happens to us? Like I said, consider yourself and consider if you've ever been betrayed in your life. What was it about it that made it so hurtful to you? Just think about that for a moment. Now, I would say one of the most hurtful things, if not the most hurtful thing about being betrayed or betrayal, is the fact that you were deceived. You thought this person was loyal. You thought they were loving. You thought they supported you. You put your trust in them. You shared information with them, personal information, secrets maybe even. You poured your heart out to this person. You took them to certain locations with you that only you knew about. They were privy to certain things in your life that nobody else was, because you invited them into your life and into your circle intimately. So I would say that that's the most hurtful part about the betrayal, is the fact that you allowed them in. They gave this illusion that they were something that they weren't. And come to find out all along, you were just deceived. You were just duped. And that's hurtful to you. And when you feel that hurt, you angle it, at Judas, whoever Judas may be in your life. That vitriol, that hatred, that disgust, you aim it at Judas. But I want you to consider something today, little flock. Since we know we're not supposed to have this vitriol, we're not supposed to have this disgust and disdain for others. We're not supposed to. We know that. We're not supposed to harbor these things in our heart. How do we let them go when we experience them? That's what this message is about today. We want the heart to be purified and cleansed and ready for its bridegroom. Your heart has to be in a state prepared for the right thoughts that are coming. If your heart isn't prepared, then you won't be prepared for the thoughts that are coming to you and what you're being required to do. You won't be prepared for it. You hear me, little flock? That's what it means when it says the bride has made herself ready. If you read the Bible, you'll see that a certain type of heart is available to God. It's called a broken and contrite heart. That is a bride that has made herself ready for her husband. A woman who realizes that she needs her husband and forsakes all else. She understands that, she knows that, and has accepted that. That's someone who has prepared themselves for their husband. Not someone who still thinks that there's power somewhere else. Not someone who still thinks there may be some knowledge she can get from some other head. There's something that can fulfill her outside of her husband. She hasn't made herself ready. And so it is with a lot of people on this earth. Their hearts still think that there's value in other places other than the husband. But there isn't. You see? So that means if our heart still harbors these things like vindictive, vitriol, malice toward a person, disgust toward another person, then that means that our heart is not made ready for the husband, right? I mean, it's obvious, right? He's told you the state of the heart that he wants for his bride. He's told you it, but he's also said that his bride is very rebellious. Can't you see the rebellion that she has? But this person did that to me. They betrayed me. I'm your husband, and what did I do? If you're my wife, shouldn't you do what I do? I know this world is trying to convince you guys other than that. They're trying to paint up a false image of what God has made. But newsflash, woman, and I'm not talking about a woman. Those that have ears, let them hear what I'm saying. Newsflash, woman, your desire shall be to your husband. Can't get around that. You hear me? So shall it be with you in your inner state. Your feelings, desire are going to be for the right thoughts. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're going to be for the right thoughts. So feed it the right thoughts. Well, you can't do that if it doesn't desire them. If it desires malice, hatred, what kind of husband do you think it's going to have? You guys call it the devil. You guys call it Satan. Well, devil means deceiver. Satan means adversary. So deceiving you out of a calm, peaceful, loving state, that's the devil. An adversary of love is Satan. And now you should see the adversary and the deceiver, do you not? So back to this Judas character. You see? The son of perdition. A deceiver and an adversary. Who invited him into the group? I want you guys to pay attention to that real quick. Because then we're going to see another certain man pop up. Did Judas start this group? No. He was elected and chosen, wasn't he? Well, let's see what the scripture says. I have chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil. See how the grandson is just connecting these Legos? I told you, devil means deceiver. So one of you is deceiving. One of you is acting like you're something that you're not. Now, I want you all to pay attention to that, little flock. He was invited in. He was chosen, says the husband. I have chosen you. So he was chosen to do what he was going to do. And what was he going to do, little flock? He was going to betray. So the one he was going to betray chose him. So look at your own life. Like I told you. You were hurt because you invited, come on, you invited someone into your life intimately. Yahusha says, I have chosen you to be a part of my intimate circle. That's why Judas knew the place where Yahusha often resorted. Isn't that what's written? How did he know? Because he was invited in intimately, and he knew intimate details. Y'all see that there? So it is with your life. But one thing that you notice is Yahusha says, I know that one of you is going to betray me. And then he later on goes on to say that at the Last Supper, right? He who dip his hand in that sop is the one. So then he's making it clear that he knows exactly which one is going to do the betraying, right? He knows. Now, does he try to stop him from doing that work? That's my question. Does Yahusha try to stop Judas? Does he point his finger at Judas and say, it's you? You're the one. Everybody better pay attention. This is the guy right here. No, but he did say, he who dip his hand in the sop with me. That's who. Now, what does that mean, little flock? Because most people just overlook it. They just think, okay, that means Yahusha is going to dip his hand into some food there. And when he does that, Judas is also going to dip his hand in there as well. So then when he does that, then that means that he's the one. You see? But we have spiritual eyes and ears, little flockulators, and we're spiritually minded. So then what do we understand about this dipping the hand in the sop? What does a shepherd do for his flock? Come on now. He feeds them. Right, little flock? Right? So then somebody who seeks to emulate that position or be in that position with him is the betrayer. Can y'all understand what I'm saying to you today, little flock? I'll give you guys an example of what I mean about trying to teach the flock. Because that's what I mean by dipping your hand in the sop with me. You trying to be me. You trying to serve up some food for the flock. That's the one that's trying to betray me. Now let's see if he tried to do that. Now let's see. There was a time when Yahusha was at a certain man's house eating some dinner, and a woman came in there and started to anoint Yahusha's feet with a costly bottle of spikenard in an alabaster container, right? She broke the container so that she could get the ointment out of it and anoint Yahusha's feet with it, right? Now, when she broke this ointment and started to pour it on Yahusha, what did Judas say? Hey, don't you know we could have taken that, sold it, and gave that money to the poor? Do you see it? Do you see what I'm trying to explain to you, little flockulators? Now, what did it go further and tell you about when he said that? He did not care for the poor. Do you see what I'm trying to say here, little flockulators? So you're trying to act like you teaching somebody, but the intention of your heart. So now, who are all the betrayers of Christ? Who are all the Judases of Christ? Those who try to teach the flock something, but in their heart, they're only trying to pilfer. They're only trying to line their own pockets. They're only trying to get more gain for themselves, as the scripture calls it, filthy lucre. They're so infatuated with filthy lucre that they can't teach properly. But they trying to. I just proved it with Judas. Judas said something that sounded like it was right, but it wasn't right because it was wrong in his heart. So you're trying to dip your hand in the sop with me, ain't you? You're trying to be like me, but you ain't me. You're you. So then go and be you. Ain't that what Yahusha told him? Come on. After he dipped his hand in the sop, that's when Yahusha said, now go and do what you got to go do. Go and be you. You can't hide from who you are. You're not me. You just want to act like you're me. So I need a nigga like you to show my little flock how people is deceiving. That's what I need you here for. And I need you to do your job real good. Stop trying to act like you're righteous, because you're not. Just be you. And then what did Judas do? And immediately, who entered in there? Skeet and Dealy, can you understand me? Because I'm making this shit clear, so crystal clearly. I'm making this shit crystal clear. Satan entered into him, and immediately he ran out to go and betray. So now I got a question for you, little flock. What do it mean Satan entered in? Satan entered in. We know Satan means adversary. Does the scripture say he was of that wicked one? The son of perdition, that is? Yeah. Yep. So then he went out and he betrayed. Now back to the point. Yahusha knew he was going to do it, and he knew who was going to do it. But do you see his state of being concerning it? Remember how you feel when you get betrayed. Come on now. The vitriol get to coming up, the malice, the murdering ass thinking. Now who is that? That's the adversary. That's Satan trying to enter in. Can't you see it? That's Satan trying to enter in. Because who else is feeding you those thoughts that you're receiving? Who else? Like malice. Like stop him from betraying you since you know he's going to do it. Thwart his plan. Stuff like that. Stop him from betraying you. Now that he did, kill this nigga because he betrayed you. Get some get back. Didn't Judas go out and hang himself? Why did he do that? Judas told you, I have betrayed innocent blood. Isn't that what he said? I know that what I did was wrong. So then, therefore, I'm going to go out there and kill myself. So if that's the truth of the end of a betrayer, then why would I get angry at him? Why wouldn't I feel pity for him for making that decision? I mean, I see what you're saying, grandson, but see all that and everything? That's because you love cheating on the husband. That's all it means. You love cheating on him. Can't you see that? That's what that means. What you mean, grandson? Didn't I tell you all those thoughts that come when you get betrayed? They didn't come from God? Because Yahusha showed you how you should handle betrayal? And how should you handle it? If you listening to Yahusha, how would you handle it? That's my question. Anybody listening to me today, how would you handle betrayal if you were listening to the husband who gave you an example? So now what would you do if you're put in that position that Yahusha was put in? I mean, ultimately, my question for all of you flockulators is, why would you do anything other than what he did? Why would you? Because there are many who don't do what Yahusha does in that circumstance, do they? The night of his crucifixion, when they came, I mean, not the night of his crucifixion, but the night they came and arrested him and took him and everything, that was a hell of a night that he went through, wasn't it? Everything that was done to him was done wrongfully. So that was a hell of a night. I could understand if he had deserved the things that he was going through, but think about this, little flock. Let's just take one thing in particular. The fact that they came and took him by night was already showing how wicked their intentions of their heart were. There's a reason they came and took him by night, little flock. They had torches when they came looking for him. There's a reason for that. Everything they was doing was illegal. I told you guys about the high priest Caiaphas. Now, who condemned Yahusha? It was a certain man that condemned him to death. Now, the people all agreed, but there was somebody who had authority over the people. Who was that? His name was Caiaphas, the high priest of the order of Levi. Do you guys understand that? Because there's two priesthoods. There's one priesthood, and then there's a better priesthood. Yahusha's of the better one. That's why he would say things like, you have heard it said, but I say unto you. And I'm of the same priesthood Yahusha's of. And I'm going to prove it right here by saying this. It's just a side note, but I'm going to prove it to you. You have all heard it said, as Yahusha says, see, you have all heard it said, do not take the Lord's name in vain. But I say unto you, do not take your identity in lies. Do you see? So there's one priesthood, and then there's a better priesthood. Now, I could break that down and explain to you why I'm saying that when I'm saying to you. But there are those who have a spiritual ear who are hearing exactly what I'm saying, why I'm saying that. They can understand now what it means to not take the Lord's name in vain by what I've said. You couldn't understand that by somebody just saying, don't take your Lord's name in vain. In other words, I'll break it down to you like this. When you're a child, your parent will tell you not to do a whole lot of things. You don't know why not to. You just know your parent says not to, but you don't understand why you shouldn't until you get older or until somebody is able to explain to you why. Do you see? Do you see it? You may tell your son, don't hit your brother, his sibling. You'll say, don't hit your brother. Don't do that. No, he just goes, okay, don't hit my brother. Wrong to do that. Okay, don't hit my brother. I get in trouble if I hit my brother. That's how he's going to compute it. But as he gets older, you'll be able to explain to him that's not loving your brother when you do that. So then love your brother. Do you see how it gets, guys? Same thing with us. Don't steal. Don't kill. Don't commit adultery. Then what does the next priest come and tell us? Love your neighbors. Love one another as I have loved you. So then if we're to love one another the way you have loved us, then we need to understand the way you've loved us. Most people don't know the way that he's loved us. They have no clue. But I'm giving you an example right here with a person betraying you, a person doing something illegal to you, using their position illegally and wrongfully. Now, I mentioned Caiaphas. How can I prove to you that what he did was illegal and wrong? Well, when he asked Yahusha who he was, and Yahusha said, I'm the son, Caiaphas took his garment and he rent the garment. Caiaphas, being high priest that year, was wearing the garments of the high priest, and he tore the garments of the high priesthood. Now, when you look at the Levitical law that he was supposed to be the head of, when you look at the law, you will read in the law, you are not to mar or rend the garments of the high priest. Don't give a damn what's going on. You ain't got no right to tear them. You didn't make them, so you have no right to tear them. Caiaphas inherited those garments. He didn't make them. But what did he do? He rent them. So then, by law, come on, little flock, by law, what was supposed to happen to Caiaphas for ripping those garments? What is the penalty for ripping those garments? The penalty was death. So I need you all to see what I'm trying to explain to you. Here's Judas betraying Christ. Innocent blood. He said it himself. I betrayed innocent blood. So we know that's the case. And then we see Caiaphas tear his own garments he's not supposed to tear, or else he should be put to death. But whoever even brought it up? That's my question. When Caiaphas tore his garment, these were all supposed to be doctors of the law. How come none of them said, uh-oh, Caiaphas, not only are we going to crucify Christ today, we're also going to stone you to death? How come nobody said that? Were they supposed to? That's my question. I told you I'm a peculiar man in this circumstance. I'm standing in a unique position. That's why I speak the way that I speak concerning these things. If you knew who I was, because I've told you all plainly who I am, if you knew that and accepted that, then you'd understand exactly why I speak the way that I do. You'd be like, if he's that guy, then he would speak the way that he do. And he does, because he is that guy, like I've told you all plainly. But there's some, when you're ministering, there's going to be some, Judases they are, who are going to listen, who are going to want the position that you have. They can see the authority that you have. They can see the power and dominion that you're walking in. And that's what they are desirous of. Like Judas. Vainglory. Any of the 7 deadly sins is what's leading Judas. So vainglory, pride, you see? That's what makes you want another person's position that don't belong to you. You think it do. You think you should have it. That's pride. Let no man think more of himself than what he is. Don't let a man think that he's something that he's not. But what was Judas doing? The emulations got to his ass. Y'all see this little flock? So now Yahushua's showing us how to be in this circumstance, how to handle it. How many men do you know handle it this way? Now, here comes a very important question, so perk your ears up. How would people feel about you if you handled your betrayal that happens to you in your life, if you handle it the way Yahusha does, how will men and your peers and other people feel about you? Now, how they feel about you because of how you've handled it will then tell you how they actually feel about Yahusha. Not how they say with their mouth how they feel about him, because there's scripts for that cut them kind of niggas up. This how it go. They honor me with their lips, but their heart's far from me. Can slice or can slice. See what I mean? So back to what I'm telling you. When you actually do what Christ would do in a circumstance, people are going to be offended at that. For the most part, that's what they're going to do. They're going to wonder why you're not getting some get back. That's all men know how to do. As Yahusha said, you have heard it said, look at this Lego about to click on the ass. You have heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. See? So if that's what they heard was right, then that's what they thought. So it is today. An eye for an eye is when you get betrayed, you're going to do something back because you got betrayed, right? When somebody illegally does something to you, then you're going to take this nigga to court and try to get your money and try to sue this nigga and all kind of shit like this, right? Yeah. You read right there in the Bible. They take each other to court and every damn thing. Y'all taking each other to court. You read it right in there. But y'all don't know how to judge righteous judgment. Proven by the fact that y'all not doing what Christ would do. That prove it. Nah. Watch how I'm about to connect this big ass Lego. Watch. Yahusha said, this night you shall all be what? Offended in me. What night? Could it be the same night I keep telling you guys about in this message? Could it be that same night? Now remember when he said, this night you shall all be offended at me, and you shall all leave me alone. But I am not alone, for the Father is with me. If you all leave me alone, and yet I am not alone because the Father is with me, then doesn't that mean that I have grace with me? I have God's grace with me? Y'all all got to say yes. Now watch how I'm about to connect another damn Lego. Watch. That night, all of Christ's disciples scattered, right? And they took Yahusha. But when they took him in somewhere that had a door that was closed, where you had to get access to get in. Guess who was in there with Yahusha when they took him in there? Guess who was in there with him? One of his disciples was. Guess who it was? Now remember what Yahusha said. You shall all leave me, but I am not alone, for the Father is with me. That means God's grace is with him, right? Now, who do you think was in there? You'll see that it was an apostle named John. That's the same apostle that Yahusha loved that's in his bosom. Do you see it? Now, what does John's name mean? Like I always tell you guys. Of course, in the Hebrew, his name is not John. It's Yochanan. So, what does Yochanan mean? What does Chana mean? Once you understand what the word Chana means, which is gracious, then all you need to understand is what Yah means, or Yod. What does it mean? It means I am. Oh boy. So then who is with Christ? God's grace is there, because God's name is I am. I am gracious is with Christ. Now, when Christ is crucified on that cross, who's at the foot of the cross? Because remember, all his disciples have left him. All but one. I guess y'all forgot that. One didn't. I told you he was there when they had closed that door. And remember the cock crew and Peter denied 3 times and the cock crowed 3 times? Or not 3 times, but the cock crowed because he denied Yahusha 3 times? He denied Yahusha when they had him on trial and he was let in. Peter was let in. Who was he let in by? Remember, I told you the door was closed. When they were questioning Yahusha, they went in and closed the door. And you had to get access to get in. Somebody was already in there and came and let Peter in. Who was that did that? Y'all gonna see that was Yochanan that did that. How the hell he letting him in if he ain't in? How the hell he get in? The scripture tells you how he got in. Why is he in? If all the other ones ain't in, how come he's in? I told you why. Because he's the beloved of Yahusha that ain't going to leave him. He ain't going to go anywhere. He's going to go everywhere that he go, even to death. He's going to actually do what Peter said he was going to do. Peter said he was going to do it, but he couldn't do it. But Yochanan could. Skeet-and-deedly, do you understand me? Or do you understand why I'm talking the way that I'm talking now? Why I know the stuff that I know now? Ain't it clear? I'm not telling y'all stuff other people know about Yahusha. I'm telling y'all things about Yahusha don't nobody else know. How is that the case? Told y'all how that's the case. And I keep showing y'all how that's the case. Keep on showing it. Keep on connecting these Legos, because Legos, logos, Legos, logos. Who was the one that told y'all that? In other words, who was the one that told y'all in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God? Who was the one told y'all that? Who was the one that told y'all if a man says he loved God, but yet he hate his brother, the love of God is not in him and he is a liar? Who's the one who told y'all that? Who was the one that told y'all, be not friends with the world, don't love the world, don't love the things of the world? Who the one told y'all that? And the list can just keep on going, but I think y'all get my point here. I think you get my point here. Everybody else is offended at the ultimate truth. I don't give a damn about everything else they tell you. When that hour of temptation comes, there's only going to be one with Christ that's going to tell you the truth. So didn't Yahushua say he was going to send you one? Who the hell else you think he going to send? If he got 12 apostles, y'all, out of the 12 that scattered, one did not. Who the hell do you think Yahushua going to send back? Well, let's see. Yahushua said, hey, John, this is now your mother. I know she was my mother, but now she's your mother. Look how nobody told y'all what that meant, but how it's so easy to see it when I'm telling it to you. You can't deny it when I'm telling it to you, though none of these pastors, none of these filthy, lucre-chasing ass niggas can tell you this mystery, but I am. How come that's the case? Mary, this is now your son. He didn't say that to James. He didn't say that to Peter. He didn't say that to Bartholomew. He didn't say that to Matthias. He didn't say that to nobody but Yochanan, right? Yeah, grandson, gosh, golly. Hey, I hear what you're saying. Why you say it like that? Because the information I'm saying, ain't nobody else saying it. So he said, lift your voice up like a trumpet, son of man. Didn't he? Yeah, he did. So he also says, spare not. So that means when a nigga starts saying to me, hey, grandson, gosh, can you tone it down? No. Can you tone down your fucking ignorance, nigga? Can you tone down your delusion? How about that shit? Can you tone down your weak ass feelings that keep you from hearing the truth of God? Can you tone that shit down? Can you tone down your own wicked imaginations? Can you tone that down for a minute? Gosh, golly, grandson, God. Jeez. I mean, gosh, golly, man, what's going on with you? I'm a purifying fire. You take something and put it in the fire and see what happens to the thing you put in the fire. It won't be the same when you pull it out. Same thing when you're talking to me. You're not going to be the same after you done hearing me talk. You're not going to be the same if you done talking to me if we were talking. You're not going to be the same. Why? Because I'm a quickening spirit. That's why. It's a bunch of dead shit inside of you that gets removed and life come in when you start to hear the grandson of right thought talking to you. The dead shit that's being removed is all the information you had in your mind that was unprofitable. Y'all are all offended at what it truly takes. I don't give a damn what the hell y'all say. He said y'all all offended at him. So I believe him. See how that works? So I know that a nigga's just faking the fucking funk around this bitch. They acting like they serve Christ. But watch when the hour of temptation hit your ass. Watch how you skedaddle. Watch how you run. Watch how you lie. Watch how you deny. Watch how you run away scared with your tail tucked between your legs like a dog. Because you're offended at what it requires. A man knowing a man's going to betray him, he says, go ahead on and do it. I'm not scared of what you're doing. What you're doing doesn't change what I'm doing, does it? Well, maybe you niggas think you can change what I'm doing. So go ahead and do what the fuck you gotta do tonight. And let's see if it changed what I'm doing. It ain't changing a damn thing because I changed not. I gotta prove that to y'all, obviously. So go ahead on and do what you gotta do to think it's gonna change what I'm doing. Go ahead, try. Cause I am power. And I ain't got time to mess around with niggas that ain't. And ain't nothing else power but I am. That's the only power that there is. I declare. What about you? Do you deny his name today? You probably don't even damn know it. Look how the light come on when I'm talking to you, but look how you can't understand the light. Your eyes hurt when you turn that light on when you've been in darkness a long time. That's the way it is when you hear me talk to you. This shit sting for a second. But then when you all of a sudden get used to it, you start to open your eyes and say, thank you, light. Thank you for helping me see everything clearly. Yeah, it stung for a moment. Yeah, I had to cover my face for a moment because the shit was shocking. Yeah, I had to fucking put a blanket over my shit because, gosh damn, it was so bright. Yeah, Moses had to wear a veil. But now that veil is done away in truth. Now I can see the truth and now I ain't got no veil no more. Everybody want to sit up here and act like what another person is doing to them is what's important. But grandson, they said something to me that was rude as hell. So I gotta let them know how I feel about that. Why? Why do you have to let this person talk to your wife? Do you understand that's what you're doing? You're being an Ahab, nigga. How come y'all can't understand this? When your feelings get hurt because somebody did something to you, then you run to your wife Jezebel and you tell her all about it. How come y'all didn't read the Bible and can read that? I'll break it down for you. Do you remember when Ahab wanted a vineyard? Oh, yeah, I do remember that. But didn't the vineyard belong to another man? Yeah. So then, what did Ahab do? He went home and he was sad and all distraught and his head hanging all down and every damn thing. Yeah, he was pouting and shit like a bitch, wasn't he? Yeah. So then what happened after he was pouting and every damn thing? Well, Isabel, she said, Ahab, what are you down for? Seeing that you're the king of everything, you got all the wealth and all the clout and everything. What are you sad about? And he said, yeah, I got all of that, but there's one more thing I want I can't have because it belongs to somebody else. You know how kings are. They like to do that kind of shit, don't they? They could have 1,000, but they still want your one goodly one, don't they? Yeah. So did he. And what did Jezebel or Isabel, what did she say to Ahab? What was her advice? Don't you worry your little head about that. I'm going to go ahead on and get it for you. Don't worry. How did she get it? She killed that man and took it. And gave it to her husband. Here you go, honey. Y'all can't understand what that means for you? I just broke it down for you. So then when your feelings get hurt, you go inside of yourself and you start to confide in your wife. Yeah, man, fuck. That shit fucking, that made me feel like this. God damn, this person's trying to make me out to be a fool or something. I'm nobody's fool. Watch this. And then the reaction is murder. Doesn't matter if you actually murder the person. That's the intent of your heart when you go forth doing the thing you're going to go do. When you say, watch this. I'm not going to let this nigga get away with it. Watch this. That watch this is Jezebel doing it. See? You can't get the vineyard, hubby? Okay, watch this. See? Stop playing with me because you can't. I told you you can't. Stop. Stop trying to. It's annoying. Shit. Stop trying. Oh, well, I just thought that had to do with King Ahab and everything. No. Got to do with you. When you being a fucking King Ahab. That's what it got to do with. And you're being an Ahab when you get all in your feelings because you don't get your way. Because somebody did something you didn't like. Because somebody was in a position that you wanted to be in, or for whatever damn reason, you started to pout. Oh, what's going on, Ahab? I wanted that, but I can't because he... Just like a little snotty-ass, bastard-ass kid does when he runs home to his mommy and says, but mommy, I was supposed to be on that basketball team, but I didn't get picked. Oh, don't worry, honey. I'll take care of that. Next thing you know, the other kid comes up sick. Well, we need an extra player. Well, fuck it. Let's just pick Tommy. Shit. Tommy gets picked. I am on the team. How great is this? I can't believe he got sick. Yeah, baby. That's unfortunate that Johnny over there did get sick. That's so sad. Yeah. I guess y'all didn't see that old movie, The Bad Seed. Them little shoes. I heard them little shoes. I got a bloodhound sniffing stick. Whatever that nigga said on The Bad Seed. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It was mine. And he took it. And it was mine. So I hit him. And then I hit him with those shoes. You murdered. Didn't you? Look at The Bad Seed. You murdered, and why? Because somebody did something that you didn't, that you wanted to do. He who dipped his hand in the sop with me. So then that little boy on The Bad Seed, if you know the movie, you know, he won a medal. But she dipped her hand on that fucking medal with him. Didn't she? Yes. Come on. Can you guys understand God's language yet? Can you? Because the thing about God's language is this. When you have a teacher teaching you God's language, it sounds so strange to you and foreign, just like if you were speaking English and the nigga started speaking Cantonese to you and you never heard it. But that doesn't mean it isn't true. Shit. So a nigga speaking Cantonese, you can't understand it, so you say it's not Cantonese. Oh my God. Look at these people, man. Look how childish they've all become. My feelings are this, so then that's what I'm going to change reality into. Shit, because of what I feel. Okay. Oh, shit. Delusion at its finest, if you ask me, but... Y'all hear what I'm saying to you, little flock? Y'all hear what I'm saying? These people don't know the truth of God's language. And so when they hear it, it's completely foreign to them, and they go, wait a minute, that couldn't be. But then when they hear the truth of it, see, when they hear the truth broke down, they're like, wait a minute, it does mean that. So then, damn, that is what God's saying. Yeah, that's why the Bible gives you examples of that. It even asks you. It'd be like, God says this. What do you think God means by saying that? It'll ask you that. I always give you guys an example of it when he said, muzzle not the ox when he treadeth out the corn. God said that. So now he goes on later on to say, do you think God cared for oxen when he said that? So in other words, do you think that's what God meant by saying muzzle not the ox? You think he was talking about an ox? Why would the scripture ask you that if it isn't trying to help you understand God's language? Because that is what it's trying to do. So do you see that that's what I'm doing today? Helping you to understand God's language when he speaks. Like that dip in the hand in the sock. You didn't know that. But now you do know it. See what I mean about how a light is? That shit sound crazy as hell when I start explaining that to you. But then as soon as you hear the explanation after it's done, you go, wait a minute. Damn. Shit. That is what Judas was doing. That is what Judas wanted. That is what any envious, betraying ass person wants. They want your spot. Backstabbers, they smile in your face. All the time they want to take your place. All the time they want to take your place. They smile in your face. All the time they want to take your place. Them backstabbers. What? They smile in your face. But all the time they want to take your place. Ain't that the truth? All the time they want to take your place, but they smile in your face. So it is with Judas. So if Judas was smiling in Yahushua's face, but all the time he wanted to take his place, then doesn't that mean he was dipping his hand in the sop with him? Did y'all know that Judas the whole time wanted Yahushua's place? So then when the nigga wants your place, it looks like he's smiling and laughing and being your friend. Hey, yeah, man, you're so amazing. You're so cool, man. Damn. It looks like he's a friend to you, right? But all the time they want to take your place. And he wants to take your place. And he's also called a backstabber. Backstabber means a betrayer. So do you guys understand this message today? That when these things take place in your life, there is a way how to handle it. But your natural inclination will get offended to handle it that way. And you'll want to scream out, lash out, defend yourself, lash back, get retribution, and get vengeance and all kind of other lies. But that's not of the Father. The Son showed you the Father and his great clarity. That's what he said. If you have seen me, then you've seen the Father. So if you've seen me handle it like this, then you know how the Father expects you to handle it. Correct? Sulaiman, Mr. Allah.